Dear Risk. Looks like we are live. What's up, folks? This is the
Hey,
Heroes World presents the Sidekick Show
H
featuring
Dubs.
Rob and the loudest chair in Ontario, and and myself, John. Joey is unfortunately not with us today. She is.
She's in the
Where is
bottle
she?
city of Candor. She's visiting the bottle city of Candor.
Like seriously, WD-40. You don't have any at home?
I actually spoke to my wife about. I was like, "Listen, I think I need to get a new chair," and so oh, here it is. See, yeah.
No, you hear it every podcast. If you listen with headphones,
Yeah.
every once in a while you just
No, so I think the idea is to get a new chair for the new year.
That's your New Year present.
You know what? Yeah, maybe I'll start a Kickstarter and see if people want to help donate to me getting a nice new chair.
Just drive around, and people always leave these chairs on the side of the street.
I think I got this one.
Yeah, you'll instantly replace the one on the street with your one.
That's right.
But or you could get some WD-40. But welcome to the show, folks. Let's roll the intro. Are we rolling the intro today? Yeah, let's hit the intro. Hey, no good.
No
what
good.
The hell? All right, maybe we should stop butchering this intro.
Don't you have you? We had one that worked really well. You used it last week. Are you forgetting which file it is?
No, it's the same file. It's something to do with the internet. Welcome, folks. This is the Sidekick Show live.
I think it's a user issue
on this. Yeah, it might be. I'm clicking the wrong file. It is Monday, December 14th. Oh man, we're almost done December.
Dude, we are 11 days from Christmas.
Yeah, this is nuts. It's nuts. Unfortunately, we are in lockdown now, so the store is closed to walk-in traffic, but we're going to do our best to make sure we serve you curbside. We'll be posting hours and availability very soon on the website, so please contact us with whatever you need. I'm going to run through the new releases. I'm actually going to list everything that we're getting in, just in the hopes that maybe it rings into someone's ear and they might hear something they want to check out.
Well, I just want to say before you run into that, this is important. So for those who are watching, and if you're listening to this, if you're watching us live, thanks for joining us. If you're listening to us afterwards, why weren't you here live? But we appreciate you listening. But when John runs through this stuff, I want you to think about this stuff. These will make great gifts. Here's the reality. We are all going into lockdown. I'm not. But most of the GTA is going into lockdown. And what better thing to do to pass the holidays with some new reading material? And I'm being dead serious. If you have kids, you are going to want to throttle them by day 4. So you need something for them to do. So have them read these trades and this and that. There are a lot. Not everybody. Listen, guys, I'm talking to you. Not every guy has been able to go out and get the shopping done. The last minute shopping people, you guys are screwed. Listen to this stuff. This stuff is good for anybody, for all ages. So go ahead. I just wanted to put that out there, John, because I want people to go out there and contact the store and think about this stuff.
Yeah. Any support, greatly appreciated. And yeah, you can get in contact with us through any of our social media if you follow us on that, or you'll be able to ring the store within those hours that we post. I'm thinking it's going to probably be Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, but don't quote me on it right now. So DC Comics this week, we've got Aquaman 66. Batgirl 50 second print, which features the first appearance of I believe her name is Ryan Wilder, the new Batwoman character. And then Batman 105 is coming in. We are getting the 1 in 25 variant as well, so that's available. Batman's Grave number 12, I believe that is the final part of that line. Catwoman 28, Dark Knight's Death Metal number 6, Green Lantern season 2 number 10, Justice League 58, Nightwing 77. Here we go again. Rorschach, number 3.
Nope. Do it again. Try it.
Rorschach.
Hey!
There you go. Rorschach. There we go. Second time's a charm. Superman 28. Tales from the Dark Multiverse Crisis on Infinite Earths. And that's the DC stuff. So I'm going to run through the others, which is a healthier list. So hopefully there's something here for you folks. Black Cat number 1. Blade Runner 2029 number 1. Canuck Beyond from Chapter House. So shout outs to Joey, which is a Captain Canuck book. Captain America 26, Captain America Winter Soldier Complete Collection. So if you want to get that on trade paperback, they've reprinted that. Cyberpunk 2077 Trauma Team number 4. So if you're enjoying Cyberpunk game, that is the final issue of the miniseries they did. Deadpool 9, Decorum number 6. Expanse, a new book called based off the TV show from Boom Studios. Issue 1 of 4 comes out. Fantastic Four 27, Firefly 24, Heavy Metal Magazine still going strong at issue 302. Hotline Miami Wildlife number 4. Ice Cream Man trade paperback volume 5 is coming out, titled Other Confections. A really fun kind of horror spin book. Really creepy looking Ice Cream Man on the cover. I think you'd actually dig it, Rob.
All right.
Immortal Hulk number 41, Iron Man 4, King in Black Immortal Hulk number 1, Magnificent Mrs. Marvel number 17, Mega Man Fully Charged 5, New Mutants 14, Once in Future number 14 from Boom Studios, Post Americana, Power Rangers number 2, Reckless, the hardcover. That's the Brubaker, Sean Phillips thick hardcovers that they're releasing. 7 to Eternity 15, Star Wars Darth Vader number 8, Chip Zdarsky's Stillwater 4, Symbiote or Symbiote Spider-Man King in Black number 2. I don't know what the pronunciation of it is now. They changed it in Venom, right? Taskmaster number 2, Walking Dead Deluxe Edition number 5, We Only Find Them When They're Dead number 4, Wolverine Black White Blood number 2, X-Force 15, and we're getting a new printing of X-Men Age of Apocalypse volume 1 alpha, which is republishing the series in the order that they were published. So you're going to get number ones for everything. So one of my all-time favorites. So if you've never read it, definitely something worth checking out. And then we are getting a couple like kind of fun merchandise things. So we are getting a Boss Logic enamel pin. So if you've ever followed Boss Logic on social media, and if you ever wanted to support him or rock and show your support for him, we're getting the enamel pin, which is him in the hat and the gauntlet. Which shout outs to that guy who just hustled his ass off, and now he's working with the Hollywoods. DC Justice League Chibi short box. So I'm going to post a picture of these on the website. It's got all the Justice League in the little kind of like babyish style drawings. They're really cool, and in a short box. Marvel Captain America Patriot short box, so another storage solution. People love these graphic boxes. Pop Vinyl Professor Hulk, the previews exclusive. So we don't carry a lot of pop vinyls anymore, but we do carry the previews exclusive ones. And this one is Professor Hulk. So he's got the gauntlet, and he's dressed all different and stuff. We're getting the Predator 2 Elder Predator version 2, previews exclusive 1/18 scale figure. That's like a G.I. Joe size figure that's Predator. So you can mix them in with your Joes or whatever. And then we are getting a whole bunch of Transformers War for Cybertron action figures. So they'll be posted all on the website. So what's going to happen is we're going to get these books. They should be ready for Wednesday morning. So we will be posting everything on to our Facebook and socials, and I'll probably get it on the website as well. So you can hit us up with a message of a list of books you want, and we'll set it all, pack it all up, and do the whole curbside thing. But that is the bulk of our new releases, except for anything else that kind of pops up. I think we are getting some Pokemon. So Pokemon has gone absolutely crazy. I don't know if you're following it online, Rob, but Pokemon has exploded. So if anyone's looking at
those
Pokemon
would be
stuff,
good stocking stuffers, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, you also posted, for those, thanks for tuning in, for those who are just joining us, you also posted a couple days ago on your social media stuff a huge amount of DC line, the McFarlane toys. So you have all of that stuff. You got Batman and Superman. You got some Flash in there. You got
we ordered pretty deep on them, and they actually did really well for us over the weekend. So thanks, folks, for coming out. And we did just get in recently the Flashpoint Batman. I sold out of what I have in stock right now, but I've got another case on the way, so it'll be here later this week. So if you need that one, let me know. And we are getting the Red Hood single pack, and we are getting a whole bunch of now that I remember, a bunch of do we call him Grogu now, or do we still call him the child, or are we just going to call him Baby Yoda?
But we're you can go all three, bro.
I feel like we're still going to call him Baby Yoda, even though he's got a name. But we're going to get a bunch of little kind of like plush Beanie Baby kind of style ones, like one in a little tiny format and one that's slightly bigger. So if you're looking for a little stocking stuffer, some people did ask me for Grogu, Baby Yoda, the child stuff. So we will be getting that later this week as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Again, guys and girls who are paying or watching now, if you're listening afterwards, thanks so much. This is important stuff, man. We are all in, not me, but most of you are all in lockdown. I keep saying that, and then I'm going to get so screwed. And listen, shopping is going to be difficult. So if you need something, and if you're listening, then I don't really understand. Just go to the Facebook page. Heroes World Online. Check it out. There's a lot of videos there. John does a lot of unboxing videos as well on the YouTube page. You can see some of the merchandise that they have. I'm telling you right now, your kids are not going to be upset about getting action figures or toys, if you want to call them that. Your husband or your wife are not going to be upset getting statues. Look at the stuff I have behind me, right? I'm telling you, right? So, and you know what? If your son or daughter, you guys end up getting these action figures, check out the YouTube channel Toying Around. John was on there 2 weeks ago. And this is like all they do is they sit there, they talk some cool stuff. They open up some action figures and toys and stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool channel. And I saw that
grown-ass folks opening toys.
That's right, man. So you know what? Yeah, support the local stores to support John and Andre. So that's what that's all about.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Rob. And thank you, folks. Get at me in the messages if you need stuff. But Rob, do we have any news left today?
Nothing happened in the last week, John. In fact, like as close to news as I have is I spent 45 seconds today tapping the notification icon on my MacBook screen and realizing I don't have a touchscreen MacBook. And it took me 45 seconds for me to say, why can I not? Why is it not? I don't understand. And I was like, oh, right, because it's just a laptop. So yeah, we actually have some news, John. We actually, for those who are fans of the main podcast show, on Wednesday, we are doing a massive unboxing almost of all of the news that came out of Disney's investor conference. This was like a hybrid of an investor conference meets DC Fandom from August. They unveiled a shit ton of information on all the Star Wars shows, some movies that are coming out over the next couple of years, a whack of MCU news, a lot. So they gave some information on some of the movies that are coming out, but a whole bunch of Disney Plus TV shows that are coming out. So that was like the biggest news. I kind of feel like it usurped what happened last week on Tuesday with Warner Brothers, but we can recap it now. But for those who are interested in the Disney stuff, please tune into the podcast on Wednesday. It drops in the morning. Again, YouTube or on your podcast stream, so you can hear all about the information, what we thought of it, of all the new information coming out. But last week on Tuesday, Warner Brothers made a huge bombshell by pretty much announcing that their entire film slate of 2021 movies will be dropping in theaters and on HBO Max simultaneously. So they are doing what they're doing with Wonder Woman coming up in just 11 days. They're putting it on HBO Max for a 30-day period and in theaters at the same time. This might seem like good news to you and I, John, or maybe to those listening, but you know who's not a fan? The movie makers. Filmmakers are pretty pissed.
Christopher Nolan had some choice words, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He did. And Denis Villeneuve, who is a fellow Canadian and director of first of all, you just go check out any of his movies, Sicario, Arrival. But he's coming up. He's got
Sicario,
Dune.
I've seen that.
Yes. He has Dune coming out. Was delayed from actually, it was supposed to be this week, I believe. It's now coming out next October. He wrote an op-ed, and I believe it was Vanity Fair, maybe, and just ripping into WB for this decision. So Judd Apatow is not very happy. There's a whole bunch of directors who have and filmmakers who have signed this letter urging Warner Brothers to switch course and put their stuff back into theaters exclusively before dumping it onto HBO Max. I don't know what that means. I don't know what's going to happen. Well, here's what I do know, though, John. Warner Brothers Canada has confirmed that we, in the far-flung country of Canada, whose very distance from America is measured in only really inches, but we are going to be getting Wonder Woman 1984. There's a caveat, though, only on video on demand. So actually, no streaming service has been announced, but you can bet your bottom dollar, Annie, that it will be on iTunes and Google Play. and maybe the PlayStation Store. I'm not too sure. But at any rate, at least those two streaming services will be having it for you to rent for the big price of $30 for a 48-hour rental. So we don't have it the same as they do in the States. They have it for free as long as you're an HBO Max subscriber. You've got it for 30 days. But
as long as it's not like you subscribe to something and you pay on top of that. If
that's the Mulan. Like, you know, that's what Mulan did, right?
I think that stung a lot of people. And I don't know if that is supposed to be out on Disney Plus by this time for free. I don't remember. I thought they said it was December time.
December, yeah.
That it was supposed to be added. I have seen the Blu-rays on shelves at Walmart's because they're allowed to be open still. But
of course.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you think maybe they just presented it wrong. Like, why would you announce your entire slate? Why not do it in a movie by movie basis so it doesn't seem like you're just like, because I feel like they had to do something. Something had to be done. They have to try something. But maybe announcing like everything was kind of like not the proper way to go. You know, maybe you should have done movie by movie.
Yeah, here's my and I did think about this, and I thought to myself, well, listen, we know for the first half, let's call it till June, you're not really going to be getting out to theaters. Theaters are pretty much going to be closed in most areas, right? Until, you know, the spring into June. So, but then is it fair for Warner to say, sorry, for all you first 6-month movie schedules, you're going on HBO Max, and everybody post June will give you a proper theatrical release? Because then that causes. So I think they said, okay, everybody in 2021 is going this route. And I guess that was probably the least, you know, the path less traveled in terms of resistance, but that obviously wasn't the case. I don't know. I don't know what this means, you know, going forward. I don't know what this means for us as Canadians, man. You know, and again, we've talked about this. You know, Bell owns Crave, and Bell has a exclusive signing with Warner Brothers that after what they call their standard theatrical release, it shows up on Crave. What does that mean anymore? What does a standard theatrical release mean for this year and all of 2021? Until this pandemic is curtailed, when everybody has inoculations or whatever, what does that mean when things are opening up? So I don't know. I personally think that this is a failure on Bell to be able to get the rights to be able to stream it on Crave. Listen, you want more subs, do the same thing HBO Max is doing. Have it on there for 30 days and have it removed and wait until it goes on to video on demand service again. But that's my 2 cents. What this means for the future of movies of Warner Brothers. I think the head of AT&T has kind of said, well, you know what? We'll take a look at it on a case-by-case basis as we get later into the year. So they have put that caveat out that they can walk it back a little bit if they want. But that's what their game plan is right now. 2021, everything theaters and on HBO Max. Switching gears to more streaming news. Well, just because I'm irritated by this. So we talked about the Disney Plus stuff. And I just got to tell you, so we had the great news, all these new Star Wars shows, all these new MCU stuff. The not great news is that as of February, they're increasing our price by $3 a month in Canada. So, you know, when you look at this, if you Google this news story, you're like, oh, but wait a minute. They're adding a new service called Star, which is their Disney's international version of Hulu. We don't get Hulu up here, right? The problem is a lot of those Hulu shows are already licensed to Bell through Crave and their different subsidiaries to showcase. Rogers has got it with their FX and FX Now network that they have, that if you're a Bell subscriber, you don't have access to. So, you know, what is this for? So we're really going to get a watered down version of this Star network that will be quote unquote free add-on to your Disney Plus subscription, but you're increasing it by $3. Netflix has increased theirs by a couple bucks just the other month. So like, we're kind of getting hooped here, especially when Disney has announced that our friends to the south are only getting a $1 per month increase starting in March. So for me, there's only so much money. And eventually, no matter how good these TV shows are, what you're doing is I'm not advocating for this, but you may be pushing people to say, why I cut cable to get these streamers. I was saving money. Now I'm paying more than I was before. Why don't I just go back to get my Kodi box or my Android box and watch these movies streaming it that way? So these companies need to, there's a very fine line between, you know, people wanting to give you your money and then to where they feel gouged. So I'm not necessarily sure this is a right move, especially with a lot of people who have lost their jobs or are laid off right now during this pandemic. So
it's a little crazy. And how do you get that conversion? One to three, like times three, like crazy, right? Like I don't remember our dollar being that weak.
well, yeah, it makes. And again, I don't understand where, when it comes to digital, why you need to have a price difference. To be very honest with you, there is no distribution in terms of physical copies. So, and it's not really infrastructure. So why the price difference?
Yeah. Usually when we bring something into the store that's from overseas or the States, there is a cost associated with physically moving that product from A to B, right? So that is factored in, but
yeah,
it's not there. This is all digital, unless something I don't know about the internet.
Yeah, it could be
something I'm missing out on. But yeah, it's really unfortunate, and maybe we'll have to do like a breakdown, like how much a fully loaded cable package used to cost for, and compared to now having up to 3-4 different streaming services now to watch everything you want to watch. But what they say, first world problems, I guess. I don't know.
I guess, but like I know that for me, I do the Crave plus HBO. I'm at $20 a month there. I'm at $17.99 a month for Netflix. Remember when it was like $7.99? And then I do the yearly membership for Disney. So I'm at $90. It's going to go up to like 110 or whatever it is. But like for the year, but still on a monthly basis, you're looking at 20, 30, 40, close to $50. Right, for your streaming services. That's not an insignificant.
Plus, you have to pay your internet bill as well too.
Exactly, which also increases.
Yeah.
So, and then lastly, I just kind of want to talk about this. There's a movie coming out, John, from Marvel. I'm not sure if you're aware of it. It's called Spider-Man 3. We actually don't know what the actual name is. The reason I'm bringing it up is because last week some huge news was released with respect to.
It's actually called Spider-Man and Everything But the Kitchen Sink, I think.
Yeah, because the rumor, I guess, whatever, it's been confirmed, maybe, I don't know, is that Alfred Molina is reprising his role as Dr. Octopus, Otto Octavius from Spider-Man 2 from the Raimi trilogy, that he's going to be appearing alongside Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and everybody else. And then today, some more news broke out that apparently Willem Dafoe and Thomas Hayden Church are negotiating a return to be part of this new Spider, because they're doing like a multiverse, and this will tie into the Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness and to the WandaVision show that's coming out in January.
Correct me if I'm wrong. William Dafoe dies in the first movie, right?
Yes, he does, and Alfred Molina is not Dr. Octopus in this. After he dies as well. He remember he goes to the bottom.
Yeah, he sacrifices. Well, he doesn't technically die. I guess he could, but I'm pretty sure Green
Goblin did. Yeah, he
gets crotch impaled by a goblin guy there, right?
That's right.
Maybe he'll have a cybernetic lower half. I don't know. Or he'll be is he a Force ghost? Is that now part of a Spider-Man canon?
You know what, man? I have no idea what's happening. This movie is bananas. It's like, if they say the runtime is only 2 hours and 30 minutes, I'm going to be like, it's got to be Spider-Man 3 part 1, Spider-Man 3 part 2. Because I don't know how you're going to fill this many characters into one movie. I don't get it. I don't know. There's also a rumor that our favorite blind lawyer out of Hell's Kitchen is going to be in it. And that will also be with Charlie Cox because the fans demanded it. I think we may have mentioned this last week. So Spider-Man 3, whatever you're calling it, home is where the heart is for all the previous Spider-Man movies, is coming. There's a photo was released last week of Tobey Maguire arriving on set for a costume fitting. So whatever, man. That's all I got.
We do touch on it in the podcast, so you'll hear it come back up again in the podcast.
Right, but this news about Dafoe and Tom Hayden Church,
was today. I love William Dafoe. I had actually rather him come back in the John Wick series, but if we get him acting like Green Goblin again, I guess that's cool. But I guess we'll see how it's going to go down.
Well, they are trying to match punch for punch with what DC is planning to do with its Flash movie by having Ben Affleck return as Batman, by having Michael Keaton, the OG Batman, I'm not counting Adam West, I apologize, return as Batman. The one Batman who's not going to be returning for the Flash movie is your good friend George Clooney from Batman and Robin, because everybody agreed that movie sucked. And John, this is where we go to
I don't know. Okay, before we dive into the worst comic bracket, so thank you folks for joining us. We were definitely going to get into the comments, so definitely start going off if you want. I don't know if we want to talk a little bit about Mandalorian. We did drop a Mandalorian podcast as well on Sunday.
Yeah, that was.
We are one more episode to go. I'm not going to lie, I really enjoyed it. You can definitely go back and listen to that podcast. But if anyone wants to drop something about Mandalorian in the comments, we can definitely pop
so
it up.
Can I? There is a rumor going around, and I don't know if we should be talking. I mean, it's not confirmed. It's pure speculation, and we may have mentioned this in a podcast last week about it when we did the last week's Mandalorian recap.
Anyway,
but there's a rumor. Well, no, because it hasn't been. I have no idea. There's just a rumor going around that a certain Jedi master with the initials LS may be the one that answers the call from Grogu.
All right.
Are you trying to figure out who LS is?
I know who LS is.
Oh, okay.
I'm right here. I got him right here. But I don't. Okay.
I think it would be.
That would be a hell of a surprise. Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The internet's got that meme. I don't know if Boss Logic was behind the. I think he made some of the artwork for it of Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan or whatever his name is.
Yep.
As Luke Skywalker, and it looked good, but that's a Photoshop.
But yeah, there's a rumor, and it seems to be picking up steam in terms of what fans want. So I don't know. Would you be interested in seeing that, John?
I would definitely. A little bit of a spoiler for the podcast. I do mention that I would love to see some more Luke Skywalker stuff. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Mark Hamill, because unfortunately they kind of missed their chance to use him in the younger years, so they can use something in older years, or if they're going to use his voice or something like that. But a young badass Luke Skywalker is something I would definitely like to see. He does some really cool stuff in the comic books. So it would be nice to see some action from him in this new crazy live action world we've got going on.
Yeah.
We got a couple. So Fraser feels that episode was filler. I think Rob, you kind of agree with him. We won't spoil the episode too much in case some people haven't seen it.
No, and so Fraser, if you haven't listened to the podcast, you should. I did say it, that I felt like that was what it was, although I did enjoy it. It's not the worst episode, and I told you which was the worst in this episode that we recorded yesterday. So it was probably John's favorite episode. So it wasn't a filler episode, but it definitely didn't carry the momentum of the past 2 weeks. But that's okay. I'm cool for this finale, and I'm hoping it's like a good hour. I don't want it to be like a 42-minute finale. So
and then both Lewis and Fraser mentioned they would love to see Mace Windu come back, and I feel like that is something the internet wants.
Yeah, but this takes place. Mandalorian takes place after Jedi, and Windu would have been dead for about 60 years at that point.
If he died, that's the allegedly.
I'm pretty certain he did.
They didn't show you a body. They didn't show you a burial. He didn't bury him in a pile of rocks like Ryan Reynolds. Okay. I guess we'll get back on topic. All right, so let's talk.
Let's go our bracket
versus Batman and Robin. So thanks again for being with us, folks. If you're joining us live in the chat, we are going to go into our worst comic movie bracket. And I think I'm going to pop it up here on screen. Hopefully you guys can read it. Is that readable? Readable?
Yeah,
that's
readable.
Word, right?
Yeah, it is readable.
That's a readable bracket. So we are on this top matchup here. We're still in round 2, so we got a couple things to determine. So last week we determined Catwoman is definitely worse than Fantastic FANT4 STIC. So it advanced on to the semifinals, and previously week 4 X-Men Dark Phoenix had defeated Daredevil in terribleness and insultiness, and advanced to the semifinals. So the winner of this match, winner being the worst, in case people
are confused,
so Green Lantern 2011 versus Batman and Robin 1997 will go up against X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Right.
So I don't know if we want to. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about these movies. Hold on, I did have the budgets for them. So in 1997, so there's a significant gap between these movies, like a decade, right?
Yep.
And the Green Lantern cost, my eyes are bad, 200 million.
Yes.
And Batman cost, I think, was 160 million.
Which is about average, though.
Yeah. I threw these into an inflation calculator.
Okay,
to see how much they would cost in 2020.
Yeah.
And they're actually roughly the same. So like if we start taking into account, there is a difference though. So Batman and Robin in today's money would cost $260,000 to make.
260,000?
Sorry, yeah, that's a bargain, eh? Million.
I was gonna say you could actually see it because the movie looked like crap.
I forgot to carry the zero, and then
you carried a few
zero. and then Green Lantern would cost 231 million approximately. Then these are all internet numbers, so it's very close.
Sure.
And one of the factors is and the difference is I want to say it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's paycheck, because I believe it was rumored to be 25 million he got paid to do Batman and Robin. So maybe if you take that out, then these movies would have cost the same. And is Batman and Robin as charming without Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Freeze?
Wait a minute. Hard stop. First of all, you've just said that Batman and Robin is charming. It is not. It is not charming at all. Ryan Reynolds is charming. Batman and Robin is not charming. You know what Batman and Robin is? Batman and Robin is what you use to wipe your ass with Charmin. That's what that is.
Okay, so we're gonna get into it. So definitely get in the comments, folks. I guess me and Rob will talk about it a little bit, and then we'll go into the comments, and then we'll hopefully be able to decide this. but do you want to go first, Rob, or you want me to?
I'm just gonna. I mean, I don't. I can just say, listen. Here's my argument for Batman and Robin. Listen, was a huge Batman fan. I went to the theater and saw this movie because I was like, well, why the hell not? I sent a message to John and I was like, do me a favor when you're watching this, listen to the sound effects, because it is like a cartoon. Somebody gets thrown up in the air and you hear that slide whistle, that like that. It is atrocious. I think
get the kazoo out.
That's right. I think people have this sense of like nostalgic. They're like, oh my God, this movie is so much fun and this and that. And I can see why people think that. But you're looking at it through the lens of however old you were when you first saw it. If you were to watch it in today's standards, it does not. First of all, it doesn't hold up. It's not a good comic book movie. It would be a good comic book movie if this was based on the Bob Kane comics from like the 60s, right? When kind of campy like the TV show. Don't come at me and tell me that this is what they were trying to do, because it's not what Joel Schumacher was trying to do. He wasn't trying to mimic the 66 Adam West show.
Okay, so yes. I did start watching it, and to Rob's point, I was like, first 30 minutes, I was like, oh man, this is actually pretty cool. I'm thinking 66 Batman, silly sound effects, outrageous costumes. The colors are freaking, I feel like my eyes are burned in with those colors. And the set and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm on board. Mr. Freeze is driving through walls. Like I was gonna count how many times characters just break through walls and walk through them like the Kool-Aid Man, but I couldn't go through the movie again to do it, because after the 20-minute mark or 30-minute mark, it proceeds to get worse and worse and worse, so much so that I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this. Like towards the end, I think I did kind of check out. And I do vaguely remember during my younger days when it did originally come out, and I'm a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. I think I have only seen this maybe once from that area, and I remember even as younger, I don't remember liking it, being super thrilled with it. So I really wanted to be like, come on here and be like, yo, I'm ride or die Batman and Robin, and I don't think I can do it.
It is. I understand. Listen, there are people who love this movie, and I appreciate your point of view. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. You're wrong, but I am.
I think a little bit younger. So I think a little bit younger than me, because the toys were a big deal when this, like,
yes.
for when this came out, all the toys and stuff like that, and the Mr. Freeze and all that kind of stuff. I think a little bit younger than me. So
Right.
would be like, yes, this nostalgia. Like at first I was gonna be like, oh, this is the nostalgia movie for me, and I'm gonna be able to come on here and be like Batman and Robin is great, but I can't do it. And that's not to say that Green Lantern is a gem. So I think we should switch it up and go over to Green Lantern for a second here. So let's
Sure.
not say that Green Lantern is this gem of a movie, because I feel like we're almost splitting hairs, because I was looking at the runtime and I'm like, I think Green Lantern is a teeny bit shorter, because I
Yeah.
can't believe Batman and Robin was about 2 hours and change.
Yeah. Green Lantern was 2 hours and 3 minutes, and Batman and Robin, I think, was 2:12. I can look that up really quickly. What's your thoughts?
It's not a big deal. I know it is longer.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I feel like when I've watched Green Lantern, and
Yeah.
I stated I watched it after it got bashed, and all the junk happened to it. And I remember watching it and going, it's not bad. But when you look at it, I did rewatch a little bit of it. I couldn't get through the whole thing again. There's some funny stuff that happens. Like, why did they CG the mask? Like I feel like you're just burning money at that point when you're like, let's CG the mask too, and they're like, no, we why don't we just stick a mask on his face? No.
No, it has to be CG.
This. And you're like, why?
It looks horrible. Like, it looks so bad. It doesn't. The outfit doesn't hold up. It looks like somebody photoshopped the outfit on him frame by frame. It doesn't look great. Listen, in our heads, Green Lantern. Sorry, let me say that Green Lantern as a character is a space cop.
Mm-hmm.
That's boiling it down to its basics, fundamental principle of what this movie is. In our heads, that's what we wanted. We wanted a cop movie out in space. I wanted to see Hal Jordan flying through the stars, beating up whoever it was he was going after, whatever the case may be. And instead, we had him hanging out on Earth, making Hot Wheels tracks, right? Like, you have a ring that you can make anything. Now, I think Hot Wheel car tracks are pretty cool, but why are you on Earth, man? Like, your mission is to get the hell out. Like,
he goes from making a very complex Hot Wheel track to literally just green fists. So I think he gets in the bar fight and he green fists 3 guys in the car, murdering them, and then I think he green fists Parallax to save the world at the end. Where earlier there was like not a million, but there was like a good, like there was like the best of the Green Lantern Corps, and they tried to throw a net on Parallax, like a net.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just try to chop his head off? Like, if he's this big threat, like, you guys are gonna throw a net, and then this rookie Hal Jordan, who's a brand new Green Lantern, somehow fixes the problem for you guys. Like, that it was definitely, when you start really thinking about the way the story broke down. And I think Andre made a good point during our podcast. He mentions like the expectations for this movie with coming off of, I don't know if that was the era of Blackest Night and Green Lantern First Night, and all the good Jeff Johns stuff. He was working on this movie, so you're like, oh man, we're gonna get a Green Lantern movie that finally introduces this character to the world, and you get that, which they pretty much butchered the Hal Jordan character, I feel.
They did. So I felt like they were trying to make Ryan Reynolds be the equivalent of Tom Cruise in Top Gun. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell they were almost like he was very derivative of Maverick in his style and stuff like that. I did like, though, the scene when he's on Oa and he's hanging out with Tomar Ray and he's learning the idea of the power, like the training sequences, right, with Kilowog. Like, I was awesome seeing Kilowog on screen, voiced by the late Michael Clark Duncan, and Tomar Ray was Jeffrey Rush. So it was awesome seeing that stuff. I felt they nailed it fairly well. Like, I thought that they did a really good job with that training scene. I like seeing Oa and all the other lanterns around. I thought I want to say it's Mark Strong, but it's not. It's it is Mark Strong as Sinestro. I thought he did. What's that?
I was gonna say, I think that is the guy. I think I know that.
Yeah, I know that guy. I thought his Sinestro was awesome. I actually really enjoyed him as Sinestro. I thought he looked exactly like Sinestro that you've seen in
like,
and so to the point,
Red Elf.
Well, yeah, but you know what though? To the point where when I'm reading GL books and Sinestro's in it, I almost have Mark Strong's voice in my head now. Like that's how I read it now, with that kind of almost like that British accent that he was utilizing, right? So, but again, it's not a good movie. It is not representative of the Green Lantern that we want. I hate the lantern. It like this whole idea of it being everything being like this organic look was stupid. The costume was stupid.
Like a wooden doorstop of some kind. And the ring looked like it was like rotten wood for some reason.
Yeah, like driftwood. Like somebody carved it out of driftwood.
I was thinking about it, and you know how in Batman and Robin, George Clooney basically kind of phones it in, right? I don't know if this was his first movie role or whatever, but he just plays himself being Batman and Bruce Wayne. Basically, there's no transition between the two characters. He's the same guy for both, right? I was like, what if you took Ryan Reynolds and transported him into Batman and Robin? Could he have sold this comical Batman whipping out his credit card, which is friggin' hilarious? Like I actually froze the frame on the credit card. Do you remember what it says on the credit card? He whips it out and it's got
the
logo, and on the bottom it says "good through," and then it has the Batman Forever logo.
Oh.
Good through forever. And I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. But could someone like a Ryan Reynolds have sold this movie as opposed to George Clooney? But
no, but the movie still would have been crap. Like, okay, you have Alicia Silverstone was Barbara. I don't even know if they gave her a last name because Pennyworth, because she was Alfred Pennyworth's niece. So she has her parents are in England and they died, and she comes to America to find her uncle Alfred, who she's very close to and does not have a British accent. And then when she appears as Batgirl and at the end of the movie, she introduces herself and she goes, and Clooney's like, "Who are you supposed to be?" She goes, "I'm Batgirl." And goes, "Well, that's not very PC. Not very. How about Batwoman?" And she goes, "Bruce, it's me."
No, that person. I think he says,
"Person." Yeah. Batwoman, that person. Yeah. And then she goes, "Bruce, it's me." And I'm like, obviously it's you. Everybody knows it's you. He knows it's you. Like, it was so bad. And why is it that Robin and Batgirl, when they smash through the walls, their symbol, it's not a cartoon. It's like when somebody, if you were to run really fast through a wall, a styrofoam wall, the shape of your body is not going to be left. It's like that.
They obviously pre-cut it ahead of time so they can make a grandiose entrance.
Thanks, John. Is that how they did that?
No, like I said, I was gonna go back and count the number of times the Kool-Aid man through the wall, but I couldn't make it through. So let's jump in the comments.
Yeah, okay.
No, you keep talking. I'll jump in.
What about the scene where Mr. Freeze has got his henchmen singing the from the old Rankin Bass Santa Claus Coming to Town cartoon?
Does he freeze them to punish them when they can't do it?
Yes,
because his guys are like, "Okay, Mr. Freeze, let's." I'm like, how do you get
snot hanging down?
And I think one guy goes to bring him the newspaper that has the Bruce Wayne diamonds, which are like the ugliest diamonds I've ever seen. But he like freezes them because he interrupts them while he's watching the
and John Glover went from this movie right into being Lex Luthor, or Lionel Luthor, sorry, in the Smallville. Yeah. And it's amazing that he made that transition, because in this movie, he's atrocious. He was so over the top. Everybody was way over the top.
It's pretty creepy, and it does kind of show us that how times have changed, the kind of how Uma Thurman played up that role and how other characters treated her. I was definitely pretty I think Michelle mentions it here. She says Batman and Robin wins hands down. So cringe, but that was definitely cringe when she's like when they're treating her like this kind of like sex object. It was like really weird. It was really weird.
Can we talk about Bane?
No, we can't talk about Bane because he wasn't in it. There was a guy that was wearing a Bane-like costume. I like when he's putting the bombs down. He's like bomb. And he says it. I was gonna count, but I didn't feel like it after. I think he says it like 10 or 20 times, and we're like, we get the joke, we got it. Move on.
And he was all green. I sent you a screenshot.
He was very green. Yeah, he got greener.
Yeah, he looked like the Incredible Hulk. I was like, wait a minute.
It was funny when they got off the plane and he's wearing like the trench coat and everything, and
with the fedora,
and they're driving in the car. Yeah, that was kind of funny. Like he was like a giant ninja turtle.
Now, do you know who that guy was?
Both. He was a wrestler, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he was actually in Batman Returns. He was the guy who Batman faces, and he punches him, and he looks and goes, "Is that all you got?" And Michael Keaton looks down, and he strapped that bomb to his chest, and he throws him over the railing, and it explodes. That's who that guy was.
Oh man, can't wait to watch that.
Yeah.
All right, so Lewis says both are garbage.
But Lewis, you gotta land on one side of the aisle, man.
You choose one or the other, Lewis. Fraser says the $25 million for Arnold Schwarzenegger in the suit almost killed him. Yeah, I remember hearing the suit was not great for him, and he actually chose to keep the suit from the movie. Why? I think. I don't know. I think everyone from the cast got to keep something. I remember hearing this story, and I think George Clooney was asked, and he said Uma Thurman or something, and I'm like, that's a little bit creepy. But someone would have to verify that. Lewis compares it to a bad ice show. Yeah, totally. They popped out the skates in the ice rink.
Yeah, when they clap their clip, and then the blades come out.
Yeah. So Jonathan says Green Lantern was 2 hours movie that felt like an hour. Batman was a 2 hour movie that felt like 4. I think he's exactly right there. Green Lantern, I don't remember feeling like, man, when is this going to end? And Green Lantern, I feel like you kind of just forget about it.
Yes.
Whereas Batman and Robin, like, especially if you rewatch it now, you're going to be like, damn. Jonathan does shout out the crotch and ass shots. Yeah, those are pretty funny, but I feel like those were established earlier in the movies. Like, I don't know if that's a Batman thing.
No, that was a Joel Schumacher thing. So in the first two movies, you see him, buckling up and putting the gauntlets on, and Michael Keaton moves the and you see the symbol. But then it got to Schumacher, and he focused on the nipples, the ass, the crotch shot. He was really going all out for the sex appeal. The costume on Batman, so I'm looking at the photo behind you that you've put up, that you went to Kinko's and had them printed out.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the costume, like at that, you're like, oh, that looks really cool. Like, it looks decent. He looks like a toy. That's what he looks like, right? A toy come to life. But then when you're looking at it on screen, it's atrocious. Like, it doesn't, like, the close-ups are bad, man.
It's okay. I didn't mind the costumes. I was kind of like, oh, it's got this kind of like retro-y rubber suit feel.
At least it's not CGI.
Yeah. Let's just CGI the suit. We're not going to make a suit. The technology didn't exist to do Green Lantern. Like, how ridiculous is that? All right. So Michelle says she saw it in the theaters. I can't imagine that. I definitely watched it on video. After I didn't go to theaters. I get Rob. I think you said you went to theaters too.
I was 22, so yeah, I was rocking the theater on that one.
What do we got here? Fraser said Bane would shrink down to the toothpick.
Yeah.
Oh man, how easily did Bane get defeated? Like, he's got, I think, Robin and Batgirl against the wall, and they just kick the pipe out of his head.
Yeah.
And then he's like immediately shrinks. Like, man, yeah. Poor Bane. Poor Bane fans.
How about Gossip Gertie? Oh, Bruce, tell me, who's the lady you have on your arm tonight? And you're like, what? Why are you speaking like that? What's happening? Why couldn't Barbara be Commissioner Gordon's daughter? Because Commissioner Gordon is in this movie. Like,
oh man, Commissioner Gordon was ridiculous too. Like, poor but like the Batgirl didn't even need to be in this movie, to be honest.
No,
I heard there was a rumor though that she did have more scenes and they cut it because the press was not being nice to her because something had leaked that she gained a few pounds and she couldn't fit into the costume or something, and the press eviscerated her for it, which I think is totally not cool. Like, that definitely is glad that stuff like that doesn't fly now. Jonathan Yo mentions the masks. Yeah, we totally mentioned the mask earlier. Yeah, we don't understand why they had to CG the mask. Just give a mask. Masks look fine. All the Batman, the masks look fine in Batman and Robin. All the domino masks they wore all look perfectly fine.
Yeah, no, agreed. Here's another question about Batman and Robin. So Alfred, her beloved uncle, leaves her this thing, and she decides to hack into this CD. She takes a butter knife and pops it open, and then he's like, he anticipates, and he's like, oh, Barbara, I knew you would do this, And he goes, I took the liberty of making you something. And she, first of all, as soon as she hacks in, all of a sudden now the computer monitor becomes a projector and projects the symbol of Batman and Robin on her face. Then he says, I
feel
took
like
liberty.
that's an old school movie thing, though, when like people would do stuff and then the screen would like show up on their face and you're like, wow, they're really looking at whatever's on there.
And then he proceeds, I made you something. Guess what, John? Not only did he make her one outfit, he made her two because she wore a second outfit about 4 minutes later.
And we have this for a costume change later.
Yeah. And you got your own motorcycle too. What's happening?
Welcome aboard, Scott. Scott said he jumped in just in time for nipples and crotch. Perfect timing, Scott.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's a roll at the H-Dub podcast.
I will bring up something kind of funny. I don't know if when you watched this, because you were a little bit older than me, I guess. So I don't know if it was because I was a kid. When you see at the beginning opening scene, they get in the Batmobile and Robin gets the bike. Did you ever think, wow, Robin is so cool, I want to be Robin? Or were you always like, I wish I was Batman? Like, is that like a younger fan thing to think, man, I wish I was Robin? Like, why wouldn't you want to be why wouldn't you want to be Batman? You know what I mean? Now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, I want to be Batman, you know?
No, I did. So I was really happy. Like in the first movie that Robin was in, Batman Forever, when he comes in, he goes, I need a nickname, you know, he calls himself Nightwing at one point, and fans are like, yo, he was Bat Kid, this and that, Nightwing, like, yeah, like that, right? And that was really cool. I loved the costume. So when I did see it, I was like, yes, I was like, oh, I want to be Batman. But I gotta say, like that, his Robin costume, it was taken straight out of the Nightwing costume. They just changed to red, right, for the bird, but that was a Nightwing costume. It looked great. So I hear what you're saying. Robin didn't look stupid. He didn't have the tights on, the Robin Hood, ankle wing.
He rides a motorbike, so it's kind of like, oh man, that's kind of cool. Like,
but he can't swim.
Also, what the
ended up in water?
What the hell, Batman making a one-seater Batmobile? What a dick! Sorry, Robin.
Which made no sense though, because in the first movie, he had Vicky Vale in the passenger seat. And remember when he was driving her to the Batcave and he flicks on the light so she can't see his mask? So he had originally a two-seater. Why he decided to get rid of it and made it single?
What did we have in Batman Forever? So first Batman, he has the '89 Batmobile, very iconic. The second one he has
the Tumbler as well. Not the Tumbler. Sorry, it's not the Tumbler. It's this
one.
The
Batwing, right?
No. He had this. Right, he had this in the He had this in the second movie as well. But then, as he was going,
which movie does it turn into like a penis? And it's like
Batman Returns, because he's going towards the wall, and it's one of those those walls with the narrow alleyway, and everything flies off, and all you see is like this portion of the car as it scoots out, right?
In case there's an alleyway that's too skinny for my Batmobile to fit, I'm going to have the sides fly off. Let alone this thing is like 1,000,000 miles long. So I don't know what's going to happen after that. Okay, so, but then in Batman Forever, he got a new, like, fancy, like a Batmobile that's similar to this one.
Yes, he had with a massive long fin that then opened up. It opened up like that because Robin took it for a test drive, and that's where he met Don the Dragon Wilson, and they were all in the fluorescent green paint. He's like, "That's not the Batman," and he's like, "Yeah, I am Batman. What? I left my suit at home. So what?" Like that. And then they kind of just changed that Batmobile to the one that we have in this movie, which is also just so stupid.
Okay, so
I think I'm pretty certain which way we're going on this.
Are we sure? No, but I think you're right. I think the fact that Green Lantern is a little bit more, I don't know if I want to say forgettable, but we can make it. I feel like we can make fun of it a little less than we can make fun of Batman and Robin. But
I have a question for you.
Yeah,
what's more fun? What was more fun for you? And how? I guess then is how do you define fun? But when I watch Batman and Robin, I'm like, ugh. Like I was looking at my phone more often. I watch Green Lantern and I'm like, why are you? Parallax isn't a big cloud. Come on, man. But it was more enjoyable for me than Batman and Robin.
Yeah. So Batman and Robin, like I said, those first like 20 minutes or so, The time keeps going down. I said 30 minutes before, now I'm
Pretty soon
20
it's going
minutes.
to be the first opening scene.
Yeah, that opening scene where they fight Mr. Freeze. I was like, okay, I see this. This is fun. There's some good choreography. There's some
See
silly
this?
stuff. Yeah. Like, but Green Lantern, I feel like you can tweak it. Maybe he's not Hal Jordan. Maybe he's Kyle Ragnar or some new Green Lantern. Cut out some story elements, and then you can have a decent movie. Like, it probably could get like 20-30 minutes cut from it. So yeah, anyone in the comments, keep jumping in there. I'm just gonna be before we kind of start to decide it. I don't know if you remember a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger's lines in the movie. So I was originally going to say, hey, Rob, I'm going to read a bunch of these lines, and if you can keep a straight face through all of them, then this movie makes it through. But there's too many of them. There's like he says freeze in hell. I think when he jumps out of the rocket, he says freeze well, like kind of like a farewell, but freeze. And then like Arnold Schwarzenegger is just nothing but one-liners in this, and I think that's great. Like, I think we should almost like have a table read of us going through all the lines. I want to say there's like over like
80.
30, yeah, like I don't know which one is his best one. The one that gets highest rated on the internet is "Ice to See You." I don't remember when he said it. I remember during the party, he goes, "Everybody chill."
Yeah.
He proceeds to go, chill, chill, chill. Like 20 times. They were like, we get the joke, dude. Like, yeah, I don't know. I can't even go. I'm not okay. Don't worry. I'm not gonna bother with this list. Let's jump in the comments and before we decide is anyone gonna come to Batman and Robin's rescue? I think we had some people before.
So Lewis just said he goes, I don't even remember who played Commissioner Gordon in this film. So it was actually Pat Hingle, and he actually played Commissioner Gordon in all 4 of those original Batman movies, as did Michael Gow, who played Alfred. He was those are the only 2 carryovers from all 4 movies.
All right. And then Scott does say he'll rewatch Green Lantern over Batman and Robin. I think I'm gonna have to agree. I really wanted Green Lantern to go to the next round, but I feel like it's gonna be Batman and Robin. So I don't know if you want to change your mind, Rob. I think you went already going in that you knew this had to go in, and it looks like everyone's pretty agreed on that. Jonathan Yo actually says that the Batman Returns Batmobile was a 1-seater still.
No, Batman Returns was the same as the 89, and that's how everything falls off. Maybe Batman Forever was the 1-seater. I don't know. You know what though? They had really bad models, and I don't mean like actress models. I'm talking about the model cars. You sent me that screen.
Yeah, I was watching it, and all of a sudden they pan out, and it's a bunch of model cars. So there's a model Batmobile and a bunch of police cars in front of, like, I forgot what building it was, but it's hilarious. Maybe I'll post it to my social media. But I was like, they literally just took a picture of a bunch of toys in front of a building. They just don't give a crap. There's a lot of shots that got recycled too as well. So they definitely like ran out of footage or something. Michelle does point out that Schumacher is a good filmmaker. It just didn't work out for this movie, and I believe he did take the heat for it. I think he went and said he was the one that wanted to ham it up, like Batman 66, and he was the one shouting, "This is a comic book" or something during the filming. So,
no, I agree with Michelle.
What the better show? Yeah.
Sorry, I agree with Michelle. He was he directed one of my favorite 80s movies, not in my top 10, but no, definitely top 15 or so. The Lost Boys. He directed A Time to Kill, St. Elmo's Fire, Flatliners, Phone Booth, which is a pretty crazy. I mean, he's directed a lot of really good movies. Unfortunately, he's also directed a bunch of crap as well, right? So I wouldn't say he's a great filmmaker. I think he's probably better than average, but he screws himself over with a lot of duds, much like these 2 movies. I get though why they went in this neon cartoonish direction, because parents were pissed with how dark and scary their kids thought Batman Return was. So they were like, we got to change this up and make it a lot more bright and colorful. And we have to sell toys. We are in the business of selling toys. So we need to do that. And so they got a guy who said, hey, I could totally do that. You know, leave it to me. I can do that for you. They just went way too overboard on it.
Yeah, so I guess we are pretty unanimous today. I thought Andre was going to jump on and defend Batman and Robin and push Green Lantern through, but for the sake of entertainment reasons, we're moving on here.
I have to say I'm very proud because you were
like I really wanted to come in against you and try to rally some troops behind me, but
from last week's show, you were like, you were texting me all week going, you're wrong. Like there was a discussion that you had 58 comments on a Facebook post you put up, and you were like, yeah, Batman and Robin is way better. And I was just thinking to myself, like, John, please let saner heads prevail. And I'm so happy to report that they did.
I'm trying to, oh my God, this thing is not cooperating with me. This is why I should have waited. Okay, there we go. So our bracket is here. All right. So Batman and Robin advances. Green Lantern is out in round 2. I'm actually very surprised. Daredevil also out in round 2. So 2 movies we thought were at the top of everybody's list are not going to make it into the semifinals even. So now we've got Batman and Robin versus X-Men Dark Phoenix. I don't know if we want to call that now or we want to wait. I guess we should wait.
Yeah, we can wait. We got to get through next week's first. Although I know what's going through. I know what this final bracket's going to be, and you know it as well as I do. You know that this is going to be a BVS.
Well, we okay. So there's a caveat. Neither of us has watched New Mutants yet.
So I'm renting it this week.
Correct. Yeah. So I don't know if anyone watching now, if you're still with us, has seen New Mutants, if you can quickly weigh in if you think it stands a chance in this fight. But yeah, Superman Quest for Peace, I think is going to run away with this, bearing any some type of miracle.
Well, if it's going up against Batman and Robin, it has a pretty good chance of not being the winner.
Not being the winner of
the worst movie.
So yeah, I don't. Yeah. See, no one here has seen New Mutants, and I'm not surprised. I'm not saying that anyone should have watched it. I have talked to a couple people that watched it, and they said it's pretty bad. But I have seen some people say it's not bad.
Yeah, they're saying it's actually pretty decent. Like they're like, well, I don't understand the bad reviews. It's not that bad at all. So, hey man, listen, I'll give my $5 to iTunes and I'll rent it this week and see what it's like.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, Fraser jumps in. So Fraser has seen it. He says it feels it was not great. It felt like a Goosebumps story. So not great, but he did not say it's terrible, horrible. Poop on a stick. So let's see. Let's see
I like happens. Michelle's comment. Michelle's got a great comment. She says, I haven't seen New Mutants, but I can't imagine it being worse than Superman 4.
Yeah, and she's calling it now. Quest for Peace makes it all the way to the end. So we have our first prediction for the final. I don't know. I think Dark Phoenix is going to be a contender. Catwoman, I think might not. I think Catwoman is probably going to lose if Superman Quest for Peace is as bad as I remember. And I probably saw this when I was a small child, and it was Superman, and I still didn't like it. So that's pretty bad. Like kids generally will like anything.
The problem is that you have to actually finish watching these movies because you always bail.
It's not worth it.
And I'm stuck watching all these.
It's not worth it. We're doing this for entertainment purposes, folks. This is not some journalistic, factual scientific experiment here. So that's why we have you guys here to assist us.
Yeah. Well,
so anyways, yeah, I think that concludes our round for this week. Thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for participating.
Thanks everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks for sharing online. Like I said, we are on lockdown, so if you do need anything, hit us up. Our socials will be posted of all the new fancy stuff, so definitely just hit us up with a message. You can follow me at jho.heroesworld on Instagram. And the store you can follow at Heroes World Online on the Facebook and Instagram as well. If you're watching this on the YouTube, please subscribe and give us a like. if you're listening to us. So if you listen to this after on the audio services, Spotify, iTunes, Deezer apparently is doing well for us as well. I don't know if anyone uses that service, but please subscribe, give us a rating on those if they allow you to, and a 5-star rating on iTunes. And Rob, you can follow at Rob Gaudet, Gaudettee. Wait, one less
only
T.
2 T's. Yeah. Yeah. You gave me 3 T's. There's only 2 T's. 2 T's and an E.
On Instagram and Twitter, Joy unfortunately is still on assignment, so hopefully she'll be joining us back in the new year, or at least guest appearing. You can follow her at the Captain Canary. It will pop up at the end of the credits. I don't know if is there anything else we want to cover up.
No, man, it's good. Listen, everybody stay safe. It's all, we're 11 days away from Christmas. It's crazy. We will be here next week, and I believe we'll be here to finish this off on the 28th to crown the winner. So by the end of this year, as Lewis just said, the best garbage comic bracket on the internet, we will have decided it before the end of the year.
Jonathan Yo says we should group watch Nevians. I wouldn't want to do that to you, John. If anyone's going to watch it, I think it should just be us. We'll do the research for you, see if you want to watch it. Maybe we will be pleasantly surprised that this movie is actually watchable and it actually doesn't even deserve to be on this list,
That's what you thought about Batman and Robin. In all fairness, the same pitch you gave Batman and Robin.
Yes, from my nostalgia, rose-colored glasses, whatever you want to call it, I didn't think it was going to be on this list. But anyways, thank you very much, folks.
Thanks,
for tuning
guys.
in.
Appreciate it. Stay safe.
Yeah, and so the new podcast will be out on Wednesday, 9 a.m., and we are talking the Disney Plus investor meeting. What was it called? Investor conference?
Yeah. Yep.
Something like
investors. That. Yeah. Investors conference.
Yeah.
Right. It's the news dump of all new Disney Plus, Star Wars, Marvel, Disney Plus, Marvel shows, everything you can imagine. We go through it all. So there's a lot there.
Yes. It's a lot. And it was a lot of fun. So thank you, folks. Thank you, Rob. We will talk to you all soon.